welcome back to the In My Element podcast. Today we have Herb's Elements.
Hi. Hi, guys.
YouTuber, streamer, and also Vanlifer / Honda Element Dweller.
Yes, sir.
Super excited to have you on, man.
Dude, I'm so glad to be on. I've been keeping up with him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't miss an episode.
No, I can't.
So, what did you have for breakfast today?
Nothing. I woke up at like 9 and then I hit the snooze button a couple times and I was like, I gotta go to a park. And so I jammed over here. So I'll eat later. I'm normally like, my eating schedule's all messed up now because of streaming. So it's been interesting.
Does living in your car have anything to do with like your eating schedule? Does it mess it up at all? Or?
No, funny enough, like my eating was fine before I started streaming, and then it's like, oh well, I think I'll wait to eat now, cause like I'll just let chat pick what I have for like lunch or dinner, and so now it's just like my body's just kind of become used to, oh, we're gonna eat later because we're gonna be on stream, so it's like
I see.
I kind of let chat just pick. Am I cooking? Are we going out for food, or are we going to a restaurant? And then I'll make a poll, and then they kind of just get to choose. I kind of let them pick my life sometimes. So if I'm not in the mood to choose, I just let chat decide.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So you're live streaming, you living in your element.
Yes.
And then chat will decide like where you go eat, and
Yep.
then you go and
Yeah.
So they're running your life.
Pretty much half the time I feel like it. It's pretty crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I'm like, oh, I'm not in the mood for that. And they're like, well, we picked it. I'm like, oh, fine, let's go.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. When did you start doing the live stream and why?
So I was doing live streaming for I've been doing it for probably about 5 months now, but it really picked up about 3 months ago. I started like horizontal streaming on YouTube, and that it just so happened to be the day that YouTube started featuring live streams on their shorts. Right. So when you're scrolling shorts, Hades. There's a dog over there.
Yeah.
Damn it. Life of a dog.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing we'll talk about for sure.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty much I started, and then the day that they started streaming like vertically, just so happened to be one of the days that I was going to stream. And it was a nothing stream. It was me going to the laundry. I was going to hang out with like my normal viewers, like the 3 people that always just come and chill with me.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes in, I had 15 people. And I was like, that's unusual. That's weird. And then like 10 minutes from there, I had 50. And I was like, whoa, what's happening here? And people were like, what's going on? Like it was crazy. And then before I knew it, I had like 300 people like watching me. And I had no idea what to do. I was like, I gotta go change my wash into the dryer. Like it was crazy. So yeah, and then after that, I was like, okay, let's start streaming more. And so yeah, it kind of picked up after that, and that was about 3 months ago now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you like it? Do you enjoy it? I
Yeah.
mean, like just having. I feel like I would have a hard time letting chat run my life, but it seems kind of fun.
No, it's interesting. Yeah. I started out like just making YouTube videos like you and Miguel and like everybody that I know like who does content strictly does videos. Like they do, just videos, and nobody like that I know really does live streaming. So I kind of was like, I kind of got to figure this out, and I've been watching a bunch of other live streamers, and I'm like, okay, like they all kind of have a format of what they do, depending on what they do, if they're like an IRL streamer or a desk like game streamer with this and that. And I feel like with me, you kind of get a little bit of everything. Like some people do just cooking, some people just do gaming, and then some people just do walking around. With me, you kind of get a little bit of everything. I game, I cook, I walk around, I yap, like half the time I feel like I'm just talking with chat because they're just always asking me stuff. So.
And you do it all while living in your element, which adds another layer of like
Yeah.
the van life people as well.
Exactly. And I've gotten a couple people who've like, oh man, I've lived in my car and you know it must be hard. I'm like, for me, not really. I did it by choice. And they're like, oh, that's so awesome. And like, you're making me rethink. And I'm like, hey, look back into it, you know.
I get that same reaction as well. People are, I'm always a little hesitant to like tell people that I live in my car because you never know how someone's going to take it.
Yeah.
I guess it's gotten better as time has progressed where I'm just like, yeah, it's what I do. But most of the time I'm just met with curiosity. So I actually did want to ask you, why did you decide to start living in your element?
Have I ever told you the story of why I started living in my element?
No.
So COVID happened, as it did for most people. And at near to the end, I was ready to get up and out of the house. Like, I was so stir crazy. The ex-wife, like, she was like, oh, like, what are we going to go do? And I'm like, I want to start going camping. I want to go out. Like, so I started looking at Hondas that were good to go camping in. And little did I know, I was going to stumble upon a little YouTube channel called Steven Aldaco.
No.
Very first video, bro, was you. And yeah, and it was, I've been living out of my car for the past 4 years. And I was like, this guy's been living out of his car for the past 4. I could go camping in this thing. And so I was like, from there I was like, oh dude, like this thing. So I kept looking and I saw Miguel and like I kept seeing other people's channels. I was like, okay, this is cool. Subscribe to a whole bunch of you guys. And this was before I even started doing YouTube. This was like, I'm like not even on YouTube yet. I'm still messing around with my Honda Civic. And COVID ends. I'm like, okay. Like 6 months pass. Everything starts changing and everything gets better. I end up leaving my wife, and then I'm sitting in an apartment paying rent by myself in San Jose, California, one of the most expensive places to live. Landlords come up to me at the beginning of the month. Hey Herb, we want to raise your rent. I'm already paying $2,000. What do you want to raise it to? Well, we can only raise it by this amount. So I was like, that's too much. I can't. I was already living paycheck to paycheck at that point, and I couldn't make it happen anymore. So I looked at the element, and I was like, hey, I think this is going to be it. This is my last month here. And that day, I went out, got a whole bunch of boxes, started packing everything up, and just, I was like just preparing. At that time, I had a wooden pallet, like makeshift bed and stuff, and now like I'm on version 3 of my bed, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, and I haven't looked back since. I thought I was gonna do it for 3 months. I was like, I'll live in it for 3 months, and then I'll go get another apartment. It's no biggie. And then I ended up just falling in love with it. So I've been doing it ever since. I'll stop when I get bored. That's what I tell people. I'm like, what are you? I'm like, I'll stop when I get bored. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
That's wild.
Yeah, I never told you, huh?
I think I might have heard this before. I just forgotten.
Yeah. It's literally because of you.
Wow.
I was like, this guy's done it. He's like a yoga guy. I'm like, I'm a bigger guy, but I'm like, I've been homeless before, so I was like, back when we was a kids and we lived in a van. So I was like,
tell me about that. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, so like back in I was like 7 or 8. We got kicked out of our apartment at the time, and it was me, my mom, my dad, and my brother, and yeah, we ended up living in a car in a Honda Accord for about 3 months, and then my parents got a Dodge van, and it was a Dodge 250, I think it was. It was freaking awesome. And like the back seats converted to a bed, and yeah, we ended up living in that for like 3 years.
Whoa.
And
3
so
years?
3 years.
Oh my
so
God.
3 years out of my childhood, like my parents called it, oh, we're just camping. And like as we got older, we're like, nah, we're homeless. We're homeless. We live in a car. And yeah, and so that's one of the reasons why like me and my family are so tight, is because it's just like our family unit like really got strong after that. So yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine being like in that super enclosed space.
Yeah.
Where were you in the world when that was going on?
We were in Campbell. My parents worked at Taco Bravo. So if you lived in San Jose at the time and you were a burnout or you were a college student and you had little to no money, you went to Taco Bravo. It was cheaper than Taco Bell. And I mean, you could literally buy like 25-cent tacos on Tuesday. It was crazy. And so me and my brother, we actually used to work in the back of the Taco Bravo for tips. So we would stay up late, like, and we would be slinging tacos like through the front, and the college kids would be tipping us money, and so we'd always, I don't know, we've always had a little hustle going. Like me and my brother, we're little hustlers. I don't know what it is, but we always find something to make a little bit extra. So yeah, I think it started right then and there. Good times. Yeah.
How do you think that has affected you as an adult now, like living in the van during that time period of your life?
Huh. You know, I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like I always tell people I'm like a duck, you know, like you go under the water and it just kind of beads off you because like I don't let a lot of things like affect me. It comes and there's either you're gonna let it like hit you and you're gonna have like trauma and all this other stuff and like you're gonna be like, oh, what the hell happened to me, or you're just gonna be like, hey, that's something that happened to me and now we're going fresh. So I'm just kind of let it beat off and go back in the water. Yeah.
It's fascinating, like as a child, at least for me, like the things that you can go through and that just seem like normal life. Which
Right.
is that kind of
Yeah.
how it felt like?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just like the only thing that sucked was like we weren't allowed to have friends over. So it's like every time like our friends would, oh, can we come hang out? I'm like, we got to go to your house. And like, oh, well, why? And I'm like, well, our house is small. And it's just like, that was the other thing. It's like, we couldn't tell any of our teachers or anybody that like we were like homeless because it's like, then, you know, possible CPS call or whatever.
gosh,
So it's just
yeah.
like, my parents were like, hey, just don't fucking say nobody to nobody. I'm like, okay, no problem. So yeah, I mean, other than that, like it was just normal life. We'd wake up, go to school in the morning, and then freaking.
Where would you park the van?
So it was at the back of Taco Bravo.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that
yeah.
makes
the
a lot
the
of
boss
sense.
just let us.
That
We
makes a
had
lot
like
of
a
sense.
permanent parking spot
Oh,
there.
that's great then.
Yeah, the boss was like, we don't fucking care, and we had the keys to the bathroom, so we could use
Oh,
the back.
solid.
It was perfect setup. It was like dream setup. So yeah.
And access to food and a kitchen.
Access to food, a kitchen, like
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. It was really cool. Yeah.
So, COVID happened.
Yeah.
You moved into your Honda Element,
Mhm.
and that was another thing I wanted to ask you is because you mostly city dwell.
Yeah,
Correct? You're
yeah.
mostly in the city.
Yeah, I love the city. I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people do this to like get out and go into nature. Don't get me wrong. I love going camping. Like if a friend's like, "Hey, let's go." I'm like, "Yeah, let's fucking go." I'm so down. And then but I love the city. Like I love being around the hustle and the bustle. There's just something about it where it's like everything's just so accessible to you and like it's for me, I don't mind like going down a street and then just taking a parking spot and then waking up and then
Ooh, smooth.
Hades.
No, that's good. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'm like, I'm
That
gonna
was,
yeah.
that was close.
I was like he's just wandering around in here now.
He's having a blast.
Yeah. But yeah, city dwelling for sure. Like I love it. I prefer it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for me. Yeah.
There's something to like the life that a city brings.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the concentration of people brings this like sort of energy.
Yeah.
And I felt that energy in New York when I was there. I mean, there's so much concentration. People, you wake up, you walk outside, and it's just like, boom, energy, and that just goes all day.
Yeah. There's been a couple times where like I feel like I've done that on purpose, where I'll go to like downtown San Jose, and I'll park somewhere where it's like gonna be just busy in the morning. Like
Really?
I'll go park by like an Ike's or something, and I'll wake up and there's just people, and people will just be like looking at me, and I'm just like, oh, hey. And he's like a tree,
Right?
yeah, and there's something about that where like there's just people, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go right in with you guys and get my coffee, you know, and it's like just kind of roll out of bed and then go get my coffee or whatever, and then get my day started.
You've been doing this since how many years?
Well, I've been doing it for about a year and a half, year and 4 or 5 months now.
How many times have you gotten the knock?
Once.
Okay, tell us
Once.
about that.
Oh my God, dude. So, I was staying in this parking lot, and it was super, super chill. It was a super chill parking lot. It was out of the way. I was facing the street, so like nothing crazy. But my mistake was I stayed there for like 4 days in a row.
Okay.
I kept going back to the same spot. And so on like the fourth morning, I get and I was like, SJPD. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And so like I grabbed my phone, started recording, and like I look out my moonroof and I'm like, I got like 4 cop cars. I'm like, are you Herb? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
how do they know your name?
I had no idea.
Whoa.
I was like, did they like read my plate? I guess they scanned my plate.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that I could think of. And then they're like, hey man, yeah, can you come out? You got any weapons? I'm like, no, don't have any weapons. They're like, all right, well, you need to hurry up and get out here so we can talk to you. And I'm just like, talk to me? I'm just like, I mean, if I'm getting trespassed or something, like I'll just leave. Like, why do you need to talk to me? It was super weird. And so yeah, I come out, I throw my shirt and my shorts on, and I come out, and they're just like, yeah, hey man, we've gotten a complaint that you've like been here for like the past 4 days. And I'm just like, oh no, I like leave and I come back and I just park here. And like, well, they're saying that you haven't moved. And I'm like, well, that's a lie. I'm like, I have vlogs of me going out and doing things. But yeah, I mean, the fact that I kept going back to the same spot every night and then waking up and then like leaving, and it, like, I don't know, one of the businesses must have been like, well, this car's always here. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fair. And so they're like, when can you leave? And I was like, I can leave right now. And I just booped my seat forward and then started her up and took off.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, man, just, you know, if you come back here, make sure you're coming back here to use the business. And I'm just like, okay, sounds good. Can and will do. Sorry, my bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's like van life rule number 1 is like you don't use the same spot like multiple days in a row.
I got way too comfortable where I was.
Yeah,
I got way too comfortable. It was a place in Milpitas, like nicer area,
right,
I guess you could
that'll
say.
do it
And
too.
so it's just like I wasn't getting bugged, and it's just like security had come through and like before, so it's like it was a real, and didn't even bother me at all. Like guy stopped and like just kept going. I was like, okay, it's fine.
Then you're chill.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Honda Element meets.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's where I did meet you at the Honda Element meet.
Right?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
It was a Honda meet in Santa Monica area.
That's right.
It was with your homie who
That's
had the
right.
wagons.
Yeah,
or whatever.
it was with Dana, Young Static, EF God, baby.
Represent.
Yeah.
So that's where I met you originally.
Yep, that's right.
And we met up again probably before PNW.
Was it?
PNW? And then Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz for
The
sure,
Honda
yeah.
Element meets.
Yeah.
So we have the upcoming Honda Elements on the Dragon.
That's right, yes
and
sir.
You're taking, do you have a name for this thing?
Yeah, it's called Omelet. Yeah. Yeah. So funny story about that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I was telling a friend, oh dude, I just got a Honda Element, and she was like, oh, a Honda Omelet, and I'm like, what? And she's like, freaking autocorrect. I'm like, no, that's the name of the car now. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you just named my car. It's the Omelet, and now it's like, I wrapped it green, so now it's like green eggs and ham. Yeah.
So you're going to Elements on the Dragon.
Yes,
so
sir.
You're going from Southern California, 2,500 miles, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
in Omelet.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Have you ever done a cross country trip before?
Yeah, I did it last year.
Oh,
yeah,
you did Dragon last year?
Yeah, so I took off, and I was going around just exploring some of the national parks and stuff. I went to Joshua Tree, went to the Petrified Forest, and then like right before I was about to get out of New Mexico, Miguel messaged me, and he's like, Herb, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in New Mexico. And he's like, I'm in Arizona. And I'm like, oh, cool, dude. Like, that's awesome. Like, he's like, do you want to wait for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll wait for you. He's like, cool, then we could drive together. I'm like, all right, sounds good. And so I just spent a whole day just kicking rocks in freaking New Mexico, waiting for him to catch up. And then next morning, he's like, yeah, bro, we're here. And I'm like, okay. So it was Miguel and Phoenix. Phoenix caught up with us, I think, like 12 hours later, because she was a little sick at the time.
Oh no!
But she bounced back like a freaking champ, bro. And she caught up to us, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, so it was our three elements just roaming. So the P&W guys, they were supposed to go down to LA, and then from there, I guess they were supposed to take the 40, but and pick up, you know, people from the LA area. And I guess that never happened. Like, I guess a bunch of them flaked, and then it was just Phoenix by herself.
Oh man!
Came down, met up with Miguel, and then those two met up, and then they drove. And then they ended up catching up with me. And so that was wild.
If there's two people I want to be on a road trip with.
I know. I'm just saying. I was like, I'd had no idea who Phoenix was before. And so when I found out that, like, of another mobile mechanic, I was just like, anything could happen to me and I'm fine.
Yeah, so
I was like, yeah.
Phoenix is the organizer of the Elements of the Dragon, and she's also someone who lives in their Honda Element, and then someone who is also a mobile mechanic.
Literally, it's like she's like the Miguel of, like, the East Coast.
Yeah.
So you got Miguel on the west, and then you got Phoenix on the east, and it's just like when two powers combine. It's great.
Miguel is Element Lifestyle. He runs a YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, he's a mobile mechanic, good friend,
Mm-hmm.
and we just had him on the podcast.
Yeah, he was your last one.
Yeah, and then after that one got posted, Phoenix sent me a message.
Oh, really?
And she's like, oh my gosh, like, I would love to be on. So
yes.
So when I go to the Elements of the Dragon, I'm gonna film that with her.
Heck yeah,
so
dude. Heck yeah.
We're just getting everybody,
dude.
man.
You as you should.
So Phoenix makes her money, you know, fixing cars on the road, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How do you make your money while you're in your omelet?
So I was doing little odd jobs here and there, and then my streaming really picked up.
Really?
So I've been living completely for the past 2 months off of YouTube money.
No way.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Completely off of YouTube
That's
money
awesome.
for the past 2 months. It feels amazing. I didn't think I would be able to do this. Like, I didn't think it would be sustainable. Because, like, when I first started, I'm like, man, like that, like, I was only making, like, maybe 120 from the YouTube videos. And I was like, I'm like, okay, well, I still got to hustle and do my thing. So it's just like, I didn't want to work another full-time job. Like, after I left my last job, I was like, I'm done working like a traditional full-time job. So, yeah, and so I was just doing a whole bunch of, like, gig work and stuff, TaskRabbit, stuff like that. And people would, oh, what do you do? I'm like, don't worry about it. I get my money. Why are you tripping about what I do? Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I used to do TaskRabbit, Uber Eats, like, run around, go do things for people, whatever. And yeah, and like that was that. But now it's like more recently, I've been able to just live off of the YouTube paycheck, which is kind of nice.
That's super nice.
Yeah, so here's hoping that I keep my channel growing and everything goes good, because I mean, I only have like 5,500 followers, I think, so still a pretty small channel.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to like most other people that I know, like everybody's like already, just huge compared to me.
The live streaming is a different ball game completely.
Live streaming is a completely different ball game. I mean, I'll be sitting there, like, and I'll win a game. Like, I'll be playing game with people on stream. If you ever want to stop by stream, feel free to come play. And like, I'll win a game of like a trivia game on Jackbox, and somebody will just give me $50. They're like, good job, good win. I'm like, $50? What are you doing? Why? And they're just like, you won. And I'm like, yeah, I won the game. You don't need to, and like donations play a really big part, as well as, you know, just like viewer retention.
Yeah.
So it's like it goes hand in hand, and it's just kind of crazy when like I'll stream and I'll be like, hey guys, it's gonna be a really just super chill stream today. Like we're just gonna yap for maybe an hour or two, talk about whatever topics, and then like play maybe an hour or two of video games. And then I always say like I always say my streams are gonna be short, and then I'll end up streaming for like 9 hours. 9 hours.
9
and
hours.
I'm like, well, that happened. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's always fun. Like I end up having a lot of fun with it. So yeah. Yeah.
Where do you see, you know, the future of your channel and live streaming and all this stuff? Like, where would you like to be if you're not there already?
There's definitely a lot more growth that I want to do with like my live streaming setup and everything. I would love to get like a gaming laptop or something, something strong enough to where I would be Hades. Hey, you're digging around too much, pup. Yeah, like I would love to get like a gaming laptop or something like that where I'd be able to play games off of it, and also have enough like RAM and stuff to like stream from the laptop as well. Because like right now I'm doing everything off of my phone, and
you can stream from your phone
you
and
can
play games?
Well, so I basically point the camera like
I
at
see.
a screen, and that's pretty rough. Hey, you. Okay. And it's not the best quality, you know,
Yeah.
so I'd much rather have like something that could screen capture. I already have a capture card. I'm just basically saving up now for like either a mini PC or like a gaming laptop.
That would be
like that.
like, that'd be so cool to do it all in an element.
Yeah.
I've seen like Vanlife channels. I think there's like Vanlife Gaming or something like that.
Yup.
He's got a big white RAM Pro Master.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
His setup is very
It's
nice.
very
It's
clean.
Like, he's got like very like nice wood. It's the biggest RAM 350
That
whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And he's like, I'm in a Walmart playing games.
Yup.
But he
Yeah.
doesn't stream.
No, he kind of just play. It's funny because like God, there's another channel, Ryan Tolway.
Okay.
Ryan
yes,
Tolway.
I've seen this one.
I've watched him stream games before.
Yeah.
And like he'll do like Apex and stuff like that, and so like it's fun to watch. Like I don't know, there's just something different about knowing that they're not in a traditional house and they're like able to play video games.
Yeah.
And I think people like that because they're like, like this guy isn't in a room. Like people like come into my streams and they see the outside world and they're like, where are you? And like that's always like one of the first questions if you're new to stream, like, where are you? And I'm just like, oh, I'm in my car in Huntington Beach. And they're just like, really? And I'm like, yeah, there's the beach right there. And they're just like, that's cool. What do you do? And I'm just like, well, I stream and we're about to play some video games. And like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And they kind of just, sometimes they stick around, or, you know, sometimes they move on. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
What are some of like the challenges you face while living in your element?
The biggest challenge is never having a hot shower. I like for me, I love hot showers. Like, oh, I'm a shower guy. Like I'll sit in a shower. I'll stand in a shower for like 30 minutes and just contemplate life. That's what I used to do, like back when I lived in the house. Like that's what I do. I'd like something. I'm like, I'm gonna go shower. Well,
Yeah.
I got to think about something. I'm gonna go shower. Like I would just be like, something about like warm, steamy water just is nice. Yeah.
Shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Yep. Shower thoughts indeed. Yeah. Something about that. I'd say that's probably the hardest part. Everything else I just kind of now feels like acclimated to. So whenever people are like, oh, like when I'm like, bathroom stuff, like it's shower and then, you know, you got a bucket, good, you're set to go.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's half of it right there. It's just like,
Got experience from your childhood, so
yeah, exactly. You know, funny enough, I'm like, it all carried over.
I've been doing this my whole life. No
I'm
big
like,
deal.
yeah, you know, so it's funny to think like that because it's just like, well, how long have you been doing it now for?
6 years.
6? I was gonna say 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm a baby at it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm like, okay, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel similar to you where I was like, I'll stop when I'm bored. I started originally to go to Argentina and like study dance there,
Right.
And then I came back. I was like, well, that was a fun 3 months.
Yeah.
While I worked like to save up money. I was like, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
And here we are, 6 years later.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's been a wild journey for
Dude,
sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's so crazy, man.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
You've got a few more years coming up,
Most definitely. Oh man.
On the drive to Elements of the Dragon, do you have any stops planned, or are you just gonna boom
Oh,
it?
yeah. So pretty much, I was like, since I only got like a week left here in LA, because I want to go see Joseph Element 44.
Shout out Element 44.
Element 44.
He did a 6-speed in here. He did an engine swap for me.
I fucking love
like
him.
if you guys need work on your elements,
I love him. That's the man to go to.
I want to have JR
Yeah.
on because
yeah.
he's done like a lot of cool trips.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're gonna go see.
Oh yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I'll get sidetracked.
Same.
Part of why I'm a yap streamer. I just yap. And you can't
that
get me
should
to
be
stop.
a section.
Yeah.
Yappers.
Yeah, it's just chatting. It's
Right.
just chat. You
But-
should change it to just yapping.
Just yapping.
I'm like, yeah, but yeah. So after that, after I go see him, my plan is to kind of just fly through Arizona and New Mexico on the 40 and just get through there the first day. Like as soon as I leave his garage, I'm out.
Wow.
I'm just gonna fly through those 2 states. Already seen them. It's just dirt and rock, whatever. And then once I get into Texas, I'm gonna sleep. And then once I wake up from however long I sleep, no alarm. I'm just gonna sleep until I'm ready to go. And I'm probably gonna get into Oklahoma, go see my family. I got aunt, uncle, and cousin out there. I'll probably hang out with them for 2 days. And then after that, I got a subscriber, a really big supporter, really big subscriber who's helped me out a lot. He owns a farm, and I was like, no, there's no way I can't not come see you.
Yeah.
No way I can't not come see you. So I'll probably stop by his place, hang out on his farm for maybe a day or 2, and then from there, we'll continue on, and then kind of play things by ear. Because at that point, I'll be like 4 states away, so I'll feel pretty safe. Should have about 7 or 8 days until the Dragon. So yeah, who knows? Yeah, but once I get through those first 3 states until Texas, I'll be good.
That's the beauty of van life. It's like, well, I've got everything I need with me. You're like a turtle. Well, turtle with like your house right in the back. It's
exactly.
just like you can just park anywhere, you can live anywhere.
Yup.
And you're gonna be living in North Carolina for a few days.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, that's the other thing. Like my friends are like back home. Like I still call San Jose like my home. Like it's my home base. But they're like, oh, when are you coming back? I'm like, I don't know. I really like, last time I was brought home kind of prematurely, my dad had a heart attack last year while I was out.
Oh my God.
And it was while I'm driving back, and nobody told me, nobody, because they didn't want to interrupt my trip. And I was like, guys, if Dad's gonna die, you need to kind of tell me so I can fucking hurry up and get back here. And yeah, and so that ended up happening. And so I was like, okay, well, I really want to get back now. And so yeah, there was that. And so I ended up coming back. Like, I went down to somebody's house in Georgia. Her name was Patty. She was a sweetheart. Met up with her, and then from her place, I started driving back. I was like, oh, I gotta get back to San Jose. And then, like, I flew back, like, not fly back, but I drove back, like, I think within 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we got to get home. But this time it's going to be a very, very different type of trip. I'm like, my brother lives here in like Huntington Beach area, and now my parents live out here. So like, I'm like, okay, if anything happens, Eric, take care of him. We're fine. And yeah, so this time I'm like, I'm not coming back that quick. So
was that a scary moment for you when you
left? 100, dude. I cried. I was not okay. I love my parents. I was I was scared. I was like, should I get a plane ticket? And then like, what do I do? Right? Because I was just like, I'm like raised in the hospital. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a pretty scary moment for me. I was just like, whoa, shit. I don't know. There's always that fear of like losing your parents. I get like,
Oh, man.
I don't like they're getting older. They're getting older. Like my grandparents are already getting older. Like I had to say bye to them, and it's just like you never know. You just never know. Where are you going?
It sounds like you have your priorities in order.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Family comes first.
Yeah. Okay, let's rearrange you so you can get out this way, huh? Look at that. Give you some more room, pup. Dog van life problems, especially with him. He's a little wiggle butt.
He's the perfect size for it, though.
Oh, 100%. Especially with my size. Being a big guy in a small space, yeah, I can't have another big dog roaming around with you.
What's it like having a dog while you live in your car? My concern would be like barking, right? So like someone hears a sound, or like another dog comes by,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to sleep at night, or be like stealthy, you know?
That's the really interesting thing. So I've been at like parks and stuff before, like in San Jose, where I grew up in San Jose, like on the east side, so not really like the safest part of town. But I call that home. Like I call that home. So like the ghetto, like I sadly enough, I kind of feel safe there, because it's like I know where to go, where not to go, and so like certain parks you're like, okay, well, you don't want to be there after dark, but like other parks I'm like, well, I'll sleep there tonight. It shouldn't be no biggie. And yeah, there's been a couple times where like people are walking around the element and Hades is growling. Like he makes a perfect little like alarm, and then half the time I'm sleeping with my moonroof open, so he'll just start barking and people will get scared away. So he's kind of more of a deterrent. He lets me know if people are around. So like if I gotta be ready for whatever happens, because I know you've had something happen to you as well, and that horrifies me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like he's like, if people hear barking, it's more of a deterrent to not even gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna steal this catalytic converter.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So it's like being like I don't even feel like I'm being stealthy half the time. Like my roof rack, my awning, my water system, like all my sticker, like I'm not stealthy anymore.
Yeah.
When I first started out, I was stealthy. I didn't have a gas tank on the back of my car. Like I didn't have a wrap. Like nothing was too crazy. If I parked somewhere, I looked like I fit in. Now I kind of stick out a little bit more like a sore thumb. So I'm like, it's still a regular car, but I definitely stick out.
Something about it fits.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. It something about it works.
Yeah?
Like it just feels right. Feels cool.
Yeah.
Like
It's funny, like being like in beach cities, like there's so many rigs. Like you see so many Toyotas and Jeeps and with build outs, and they're all parked in the streets and on the garages. So like half the time when I park, like I'm like, okay, well, I feel like I fit in here.
Yeah, I feel like
so,
during 2020 COVID, like the overlanding, off-roading
Yeah.
thing just like took off, and I drive around and I see like lifted 4Runners and
It's
like
really
big
sick.
Broncos,
Yeah.
and it's really sick.
I love
and
it.
like
I love it.
I love all the new like off-roading cars that are coming out. There's like the new Lexus, there's a new Land Cruiser, there's the new 4Runner just came out. I love it. I love it.
I think
cool.
it's great, and
Yeah.
and they're really like, car companies are really playing into that, and I like gotta respect them for it, because it's like they're seeing a need and a want, and people are willing to pay for it. So it's like,
new Honda Element. We need a new Honda Element.
Didn't Toyota, or no, it was Rivian, I think it was. Rivian came out with something that's like, that looks
The
so
R2.
yeah.
Made a video about it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. It might have been your video that I watched about. God damn it.
Nice.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah.
I'm an influencer. What can I say?
Hey, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah, dude. But yeah, man, there's some really cool cars out there now. It's always funny because like somebody will be like, "Oh, Herb, like check out my car on Instagram, da 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 da," and I'm looking, I could live in that. And And like,
Yeah.
what would you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm already getting ideas. Like, that's the best part. It's just like the ideas start flowing when somebody's like, oh, what would you do? I'm like, well, how do you want to live?
Yeah.
You know, like what do you want your setup to be? Like what? I'll help you build something. I'm like, let's
Consulting by Herb.
go. Yeah, I'm like,
Vanlife
so down.
Consulting.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the element,
Mm-hmm.
what would you like to have if you didn't have the element?
My dream car, and it's always been my dream car, is a Volkswagen bus.
Oh yeah.
Safari 23 windows, Safari windows. It's been my dream car ever since I was a kid. My name's Herb, so Herbie the Love Bug. I've always kind of loved Volkswagens, and yeah, when I remember like buses, and it's just like Volkswagen buses are just so sick, and that 23 window Safari Volkswagen bus would be dream right there.
Do the Safaris come with the pop top too?
They don't.
Okay.
So that the Westfalias normally come with the pop top, but the Beetles, they don't. So funny enough, I remember when I got this thing and I was like, oh, like I saw, people at the clamshell. I was like, what if I just chop the roof off and just install, like actually just gut the roof right off and just peel it and then bam, just make a pop top like a Westfalia kind of, instead of having to crawl out, just poop latch and then pop it up. I don't know. I don't have the R&D for it, but I've had weird ideas and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, yeah, it's every time I look at it, I'm just like, okay. There's things to there's
seen
crazy things to be had here.
I've seen one.
Have you?
Where they chopped the roof off completely, and they had this like wooden thing that like it had like a wooden front.
Yeah.
And then like that kind of angled. And then was flat.
Oh wow.
It looked horrible.
Interesting.
It looked absolutely horrible, horrendous.
Wow.
But I saw it, and this was a weird one. They had like a full-size washing machine in the back.
Wait, oh!
You've seen this like blue one, right?
Yeah, that was like floating around like in the meme pages for a while.
Weird, man.
Yeah, I remember that. That one was so interesting. I think Miguel went to go see that one too, right?
He did. I think he made a video about it.
Yeah, that's so freaking funny, bro. Yeah, that one was so interesting. I was like, oh, washer, okay, hey. And that's the thing. Whatever your priorities are for like living in your car, whatever makes you comfortable, fucking do it, bro. And that guy really wanted to wash his clothes. Hey, you got your washer and dryer right there.
What advice would you give to other people who might be considering living in their car or their Honda Element or van or whatever, specifically for city dwellers? Because I feel you have a unique skill set there,
right?
So what would you say to them?
First off, I would say get something to block out your windows.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I like my privacy, so it's like my windows are just blacked out. So at least get something, if you want to try it, like get something to block out all your windows and make sure you have that set. And then after that, it's just do it.
Yeah.
Like it's just literally go out there and do it. You don't, if you're just trying it and you want to even see what it feels like, just recline your driver's seat or move your back seat around and then just sleep in there.
Yeah.
Like what I tell people who are interested when they come in and chat and they're just like, why your car? Like what are you doing? I'm just like I like it. Have you ever tried it? And they're like, well, I've taken naps like at lunch. And I'm like, okay, well now like park out in front of your house and then just sleep there. See, sleep in there overnight. Make it comfortable. Make a little nest. Just get yourself comfy and see how you like it. If you're curious about it, okay, well now if you're fine with being in confined spaces, because I know some people have a phobia of that, but if you like being cuddled up and kind of feeling secure, like this, it might be, you never know. If you're already curious about it, you might as well try.
True.
So I just say jump in for it, man. Yeah.
I don't know if you have the same experience, but I get the best sleep in my Element. And I think it's something about like the enclosed space, the sun goes down, and it's like your circadian rhythm just like connects. You're like, okay, sun's down, you go to sleep, you wake up, sun's like I just came back from a 2-week trip to Austin.
Yeah.
And I
Did
remember.
you get to see the eclipse?
No,
okay.
I missed it.
You missed it. Okay.
Unfortunately.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
did you go to see the eclipse? That's
No,
so cool.
no.
No. Okay.
That was the plan, and then work on the way, so I missed it. But I was in Joshua Tree,
Nice.
and I had just fallen asleep, and like the Milky Way was just like
Mm-hmm.
going crazy. There was no moon; it was going crazy. Anyway, woke up the next day. I look up, and then like the sun is like peeking over the mountain, and you just see that little bright light of the sun.
Yep.
I
Just the beam cutting through.
Yeah, and then Joshua Tree was like, it was Coyote Lake, completely flat, and it was just like sun peeking over. I'm like looking, I get up, I look out the window here. I was like, oh man, this is sick. This is absolutely sick. Hades is eating.
Hey. What you doing? Yeah, a little troublemaker.
Right? When did you get Hades?
He was actually a pandemic pup. Yeah, got him
divorce.
during the COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I always tell people, like me and the ex-wife, we ended up getting a cat during COVID, and then she wanted a pup, and I'm like, well, happy wife, happy life, right? But so anyways, yeah, it doesn't make for a happy husband, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, during the divorce, she moved back in with her parents.
Okay.
And her parents don't like dogs. And so I was kind of left with the pets. And she's like, "Oh, I'll help you like pay for the pets and this and that, you know." I'm like, "Hey, well, come over, see them whenever you want." Never came over, never saw them. I think it was 3 months after us being separated. She's like, "Hey, like I don't see them anymore. Like I don't feel like they're mine. I'm gonna stop paying for them." And I'm just like, "Okay." And so I ended up like, I'm like, "I'm gonna keep you guys because you're here now. You're stuck with me." And after I moved into the element, like I gave the cat to my friend Jessica, and like the cat, her name was Persephone. She ended up falling in love with Jessica's mom. And so Jessica's mom ended up taking the cat. And I'm like, she's going to a great home. And so now, like, I've gotten a couple pictures of her. She's fat and she's, like, loving her life. She's spoiled. And I'm just like, love that. I had a pet snake. I gave the snake to my boy Charlie, and the snake was living a good life until his stuff in his life got crazy, and he surrendered the snake. So I don't know what happened to the snake, but hopefully Steven's doing good. And then
that was the name of the snake?
Yeah, it was Steven with 7 S's. Yeah.
You didn't name him after me, did you?
No,
Okay,
no.
good.
This was before I even knew you existed. Yeah. I think he was named more after Steven Universe, because I was like really, really into Steven Universe. Funny enough, Steven Universe's dad lived in his van too.
Whoa.
So yeah, freaking. And then I was left with Hades, and I was like, what am I gonna do with you? And I'm like, do I give him to a friend? What do I do? I'm like, and so I just looked at him, and I talked to him. I was like, dude, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to stay here, or should I give you to somebody? Because my friend Nick, who lives in like Fresno area, he had a dog, and like they were great friends. So I'm like, well, every time we go up there, you play with his dog. So I talked to Nick. I'm like, hey, bro, can you hold him for a month for me? Just hold him for a month. I'm gonna figure out this. I got to figure out my whole van life. Like, let me see if I could do this by myself and I'm good, and like, let me get acclimated to my lifestyle. And then if I think I could handle a dog, I'll come back and get him. And if not, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Month passes and I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
I go back and I'm like, hey, Nick, I'm ready for Hades back. He's like, yeah, bro, perfect. No worries. And so go pick up Hades, and we started just doing our thing, and yeah, he's been the best bud ever since.
Van Life pup.
Yeah,
He's a cute dog.
he's pretty cute. He's got his moments.
Hey boy. So what's with all the names on the car?
Oh, yeah. So that's something I just recently started doing. So the doors needed to get wrapped. Ugh, I lost my wrap on the way here
Oh, did it
to
fall
LA.
off?
I had it strapped to my roof,
Right.
and it must have fell off somewhere on the grapevine or something because it was up there when I was driving here, and then I stopped for gas somewhere around the grapevine, and then I saw it was up there, and then when I got here, it was gone. So I lost it. I was like, fuck, that sucks. I had enough wrap to do a whole nother element.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's a good wrap too.
It is. It's a good color wrap. But yeah. So I ended up getting some black vinyl, putting it on there, and then I was like, I want to make sure that I have more than enough money to get to Elements on the Dragon. Like, my upcoming YouTube paycheck should be good enough to get me there, but I was like, just in case something happens or whatnot, might as well. So I was like, hey guys, like, gas is $5 a gallon. If you want to donate $5, I'll throw your name on the side of my door. And so I got a decent amount of names, and then people were like, oh, well, hey, what if I donate more than 5? What then? I'm like, I don't know. Like, and so like I'm figuring it out on stream, and I'm like, you know what? How about this? If you donate 20 or more dollars, I'll put your name big in gold. And then like as soon as I said that, somebody donated $50, and I was like,
boom.
Let's put it big on gold. And so yeah, Black Smoke Adam, he was my first donator, and then Cuddle Goat Farms, subscriber that I'm gonna go see in Kentucky. Gonna go see him, or Tennessee, and then yeah, Austin. We got Corbin. Corbin was like one of my biggest donos. He did 75 to get his name up there.
Wow.
And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And then Esco, he did two $50 donations. He did a 50 for himself, and then he did another 50 for 10 other names to go up. And then I was just like, damn, people were like, me. And so I was like, okay, just put a 1, like type 1 in chat, and I'll do it. And so I was like, yeah, it's been great.
It sounds like you got a good community going on, man.
Oh,
That's
dude,
awesome. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I love my community. Like, my community right now is like really, really popping off because I had somebody in chat was like, I'll make you a Discord. And then they made me a Discord. Never been a Discord person before. And they made it. They gave it to me. Here's the password. Here's everything for it. It's all for you, bro. And then I was like, cool. And so now I've had Discord for like about a month and a half. And we got like, I think 80 people on there right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's actually a lot of artists.
Yeah.
I have like a lot of artists that like started following me. And so like, I like was like, hey, can you guys, like, if you want, like, do some fan art of Hades? And so they started doing like artwork and stuff, and now it's like I have a whole like art tab, and I got somebody who's making me emotes of myself for streaming stuff. Dude, it's
wild.
so like it's so awesome. Like
Yeah.
the community that we're building is so it's so much fun. Yeah, like half the time it's just posting memes in there and just having a good time. Yeah, so it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool.
Is there anything I didn't ask that you wish I would have asked?
This is my first time ever being like on a podcast because
Yeah.
I tried to do one with my brother, but I don't know. I don't know if there's,
Stumped him.
Oh, I guess like no, you kind of went like over like stuff that I want to do in the future, right? Or stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I would like to eventually get the element like shipped across sea, like to Hawaii, and like take the actual element to Hawaii and drive. Like, I guess like that's like another big future thing. But I also want to hit up like going to Alaska and just like I do want to go to like all the states, and then after I go through all 50 of the states and like go dick around in there, I don't know, like definitely want to start going overseas and whatnot and just kind of exploring around. I feel like that'd be fun.
I spent a lot of time in Maui, Hawaii, and they have the road to Hana, which is maybe not as many curves as the Elements of the Dragon,
Uh-huh.
but it's this very curvy road that goes on the backside of the island.
Yeah.
And it's like very secluded back there. It's beautiful. It's tropical jungles and like waterfalls and drop-offs, and there's like banana fruits and like, so if you're gonna ship it anywhere,
Yeah.
I mean, Maui's just
Maui?
one of my favorite places
Okay.
in the world.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you so
Dude,
much for being on here.
thank you.
Where can we learn more about you?
You could go to my Instagram if you want. You can follow me there. It's dat Honda Element, DAT_Honda_Element. You could go to my YouTube, Herbs Element. I go live every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 3 p.m. That's going to be 3 p.m. no matter where I'm at in the world. So eventually I'll let you know when my times start changing. But yeah, so you find me there if you guys want. Come stop by stream. Come hang out.
Dude, thank you so much. Have so much fun at the Elements of the Dragon.
Most
And
definitely.
when you get back, we'll have to have you on again, and we'll hear all the stories.
I'm so down.
Dude.
So down. Damn.
Thank you guys so much for watching the In My Element podcast. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Hiros Hot Rods. Thank you so much for supplying us with the swivel seat. If you want to add the swivel seat to your Honda Element, be sure to check out the link down below. And the swivel seat is now also available for first gen CRVs. Solid, man.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Dude, no problem. No